Expect the best used car deals guaranteed. Visit arnoldclark.com.
Welcome to Peter and Ruffy's Football Show. It is Friday. I'm Peter Martin, delighted to have your company as we get ready for yet another new season. Season 2019-20. Who is going to win the league? We'll get some answers from former Rangers and Scotland captain Barry Ferguson and broadcasting royalty in the shape of Archie MacPherson. We were trying to find a suitable substitute around about the same age with a little bit more intelligence than Ruffy, and I think we might have nailed it tonight. Here's what we're going to be talking about. Yeah, lots to get our teeth into. It's yet another new season. I think it's fair to say that Archie has been through the mill more than a few occasions with Rangers or Celtic, possibly Aberdeen and even Dundee United winning the league in his time commentating for many of the top broadcasters. And this season, suddenly I get a sense, Archie, that we're all getting back to the excitement of a bit of competition.
Yeah, largely because last season Rangers offered some sort of competition. They fell short eventually. And we saw some excellent games, competitive games around the country, leaving aside Celtic and Rangers. And you got the impression that people are beginning to accept the reality of the fact that there's one club that has to be beaten because of their strength, because of the previous success, and because of the money. And that the others, obviously wanting to do as well as they can. Maybe we've lapsed into the feeling it's all about who's going to be second. But with a proviso that Celtic, although they weren't almost caught, were certainly reduced in the margin of the victory last season. So all developed into, yeah, it's becoming more competitive, and that in a sense will bring out the crowds.
Yeah, absolutely, and some of them are wondering, will they be watching some of their favourites this season? Of course, Archie mentioned Celtic, the champions, will unfurl the flag against St Johnstone and start the defence of their title and go in the quest for 9 in a row. Will they do it with Kieran Tierney? Here's an update from the manager, Neil Lennon.
I mean, we know that the window shuts on Thursday, so if we were talking about Arsenal, then they've got 5 or 6 days to, come back in with a revised offer, as it were. Apart from that, we'll continue on and get Kieran back with us and fit as quickly as possible, obviously, because he's such an important player.
I think we all know that it's only a matter of time before he's got the Arsenal shirt in front of him.
Yep, Celtic will be absolutely gutted. For me, he's a fantastic young player. Been really impressed every time I've watched him. But listen, when £25 million comes calling, I think Celtic really need to take it. But I'm sure there'll be a lot of Rangers supporters happy that one of Celtic's major players is going to be going. But listen, I think he'll go down there. If it does happen, I think he'll go down there and do every bit as well as look at Andy Robertson at Liverpool, who's had a fantastic 2 years, and I think Kieran Tierney could do the same at Arsenal. Yep,
and of course, with or without Tierney, a lot of expectation on Neil Lennon and the team he's put together. Can they deliver the 9th consecutive title? The manager's certainly excited about it, but not talking about it regularly.
They don't talk about it, to be honest with you. Again, that's for fans, media. It's really important for them. It gives them something to talk about. For the players, the focus is on week by week, and there's going to be different competitions and different challenges, and I think that's really what they're looking forward to. To get the 9 would be amazing, but we're not sort of predicting that we're going to do that. We're going to do our best to do that, obviously.
It's going to be interesting to see Neil Lennon's Celtic, Archie. Everybody's talking about, and you mentioned it there, the gap that's been closed between the rest and Celtic. Nobody has particularly mentioned the fact that Celtic could actually increase the gap by changing their team, their squad, and they may get better.
Yeah, we've talked about who's going to challenge them, and the attention obviously falls on Rangers. And I think people have been tending to forget that Celtic can improve as well. They've got a different manager with a different style, with a different perception of how to play the game. But they'll still be strong. They're still the team to be beaten. And if they're there, and because of the pride, they want to defend that only too well. So consequently, I think it's going to be very difficult to wrest them from the position, which is one of primacy in Scottish football at the moment. They've just got momentum. And they've got money. And you talk about that £25 million, which is very handy for Celtic. Again, I'm looking at it and saying, remember 4 years ago, Manchester United paid 50,000 for Shaw. Look, Shaw. That's 4 years ago.
Yeah, 50 million.
50 million, I beg your pardon, 50
yeah.
million. And it puts into perspective, I mean, we recoil at that and say, wow. But the money is just flowing down south. Milk and honey, as it were. They can pick up any player and pay what they like in any division.
Yeah, well, of course, you did mention Rangers. Rangers fans certainly excited at the second season of Steven Gerrard. And the big question, if it's Celtic wondering whether they're going to have Tierney or not, Rangers are wondering whether they're going to have Morelos or not. And the manager is hoping his striker suddenly nails his colours to the mast and tells everyone what he wants to do.
I think he should address the speculation, yes. But I don't think he owes anyone anything. He's coming here for a very cheap fee and he's scored an unbelievable amount of goals. So I wouldn't say he owes anyone anything. But I think when you're adored and you've got the support that Alfredo's got, I'm sure every fan wants to know where his future lies. So I think he should address that, but that's my own personal opinion.
Does he need to come out and state what he wants to do? What if he says he wants to stay? Because I think Rangers actually want to sell him.
Well, listen, money talks. I think if a club came in with an offer of 10 million or above, I think Rangers would take that, no problem. Regarding Morelos as a player, I like him. I think he's a very good striker. The only question mark you've got against him is his indiscipline. That might scare off a lot of clubs, but I would like to see him stay. I think he is an important player for Rangers. When he's firing on all cylinders, he'll score goals, that's for sure.
Yeah, one of the things that we have been banging on about is the need for not only a more competitive league, but we'd love to see the top clubs involved in Europe. It increases the coefficient. Rangers managed to do the job in a 0-0 bore against Progress Niederkorn, Archie. That's something that I think will really be the sweetener for Steven Gerrard, trying to replicate what they achieved last season.
It's early in the season. One Rangers supporter who watched that game last night, I didn't see the game to be perfectly honest, but the reports were pretty poor. His one word was lamentable. So, but put into the context of early season, start of a European competition, apparently the pitch wasn't all that great, etc., etc. But it's a little warning to people, particularly those people who make rash predictions before a ball is kicked in a championship about what they'll do and what they won't do. And I think players should be kept away from microphones sometimes, because I think in particular, you've got to have the evidence before you make bold assertions of what you're going to do. And last night might have been a kind of throwing water on some players and say, calm down, you've got a lot of work to do and they've got a big game. Given the criticism which they've received from people I know for the performance last night, Sunday's game is going to be a huge one for them on a pitch they normally don't play well on.
Yeah, absolutely. Keeping players away from the microphone. That was something that I know Barry was very keen to stay away from the microphone in press conferences when he was playing. Now you can't keep him away from them. Nevertheless, Archie, you make a very good point, because it is Kilmarnock on Sunday at Rugby Park. What type of Kilmarnock are we going to see? Here's what Steven Gerrard thinks.
Very similar. I think every time we played Kilmarnock, home or away, it was a tough game. It was a competitive game. I think under Steve Clarke they had a way of playing which was very organised, a lot of men behind the ball, very compact, not much space out there, and with the idea to trying to counter-attack against you. And they had some joint success against us. We'll wait and see whether The new manager, Angelo, does the same thing, a similar game plan. But it's difficult to predict because, you know, throughout pre-season they've played a different style, which was quite open, and they've tried to play more football on the floor, and it hasn't really worked out for them. So if I was to guess, I think they might go back to more of how it looked under Steve Clarke, but that's me guessing.
I hate to say it, I know it's early days, I know we just throw out our opinions on this, Barry, but Angelo Alessio is my favourite for getting sacked.
Well, he's took on a difficult job because the previous manager, Stevie Clarke, done a wonderful job over the last 2 years. It'll be interesting to see what way Kilmarnock turn out in Sunday. Under Steve Clarke, they were solid, well organised unit, hard to break down. Over pre-season, I see Kilmarnock have tried to play a different way, getting the ball down. But listen, Rangers have got to go down there. As Archie mentioned a few minutes ago, they've struggled the previous couple of years down there. They are a tough pitch. But Rangers need to go down and make a statement. They need to go down there and get 3 points if they've got any ambitions to try and catch Celtic.
I think he was hinting there, Stephen Gerrard, that they'll resort to being a more defensive team again.
Yep.
And I think we'll see pretty much the same pattern as we saw with the Rangers games. I mean, Rangers blew games they should have won down at Kilmarnock if you took ball possession and chances into account, and they were caught napping. It may have cost them a much nearer position to Celtic, in fact, the 2 or 3 games down there. So with that in mind, I think at least if they can learn lessons, which is important in football as well, apart from what a manager tells you to do, then they'll realise how important that game is.
We're going to talk Hibs and Hearts. We'll hear from the Motherwell boss, Stephen Robinson, as well. You can give us your view on the YouTube channel. You can subscribe to PLZ Soccer on YouTube, where you get all the latest news, unique video content, and Monday to Friday, of course, you get the football show. And don't forget, you can join us on Facebook Live as well. We're across all social platforms for you. And throughout the season, we'll give you more than a few chances to win some very special prizes, and Danny Miller is a happy man. Here's why. Six clues in our quiz this week. Danny Miller will be the recipient of a cracking PLZ team t-shirt. It's on its way to you now, Danny. Well done. Another competition starting on Monday. Now to some of the runners and riders hoping to make up the top 6 places, and a few teams that I reckon Barry and Archie will be tipping for the bottom 6. So it's Hibs against St Mirren. I'm looking at Hibs under Paul Heckingbottom. They're impressive, but Barry, maybe the bigger job is Jim Goodwin in there as St Mirren manager. He is considered a legend by them for his League Cup winning exploits, but boy, he's got a job in his hands.
Yeah, he's got a tough one. He's had a tough start to his managerial role in the Betfred Cup. They've struggled in a few games, but look, he's done a fantastic job at Alloa to keep them in the Championship. The only part-time team in that Championship, so he deserves a chance to manage at a higher level, but he needs a bit of backing. I've seen in the last couple of days he's brought in a few players, and I think ideally he would like to add a few more. It's going to be a long, hard, tough season for him. Yeah, but I think he could become a success if they give him time. That's the most important thing.
I watched Hibs against Elgin on television, and they were competent enough, but I spoke to some people who were at Stirling, when they played Stirling. They said Hibs were awful in that game. And so they've still to prove themselves. I mean, he's done a lot, he's reorganised, he brought in new players and so on. So it's a big game for him as well.
Yeah.
I think Hibs have got to win that first game.
Yeah, Martin Boyle being out is a blow. Cody Cook is ruled out for the season for St Mirren as well. I think the star man for me in that side, if you're talking about the two teams, I can't wait to see how Scott Allan plays. I want him to play 40 to 50 games this season. That boy's career has been, whether it's injury or badly advised. He's just gone from one team to the other and never kicked a ball.
Yeah, but it's been a frustration for myself because he's a player that every time I watched him when he came in loan to Hibs under Lenny, he was fantastic. He went back to Celtic, never kicked a ball. So he's made the move. He signed a 3-year contract, and I'm with you. If he plays 30, 40 games a season and he gets game time under his belt, he could be a major influence in that Hibs team.
I bump into him occasionally, and nice lad to speak to. Yeah. Deeply frustrated, obviously. I mean, it's not something you need to be intelligent to work out. Deeply frustrated at what happened at Celtic. Just didn't get the games. So that in itself is a motivation for him to prove, one, that Celtic made a mistake, and two, that he can do it at Hibs.
Yeah, there's a thing you don't hear every day. Archie MacPherson bumped into Scott Allan. I know you're saying to yourself, what's Archie doing in the Tunnel nightclub on a Saturday night? But that's next week's competition. So let's kick on. Livingston against Motherwell. I put to Stephen Robinson this morning, is it the old Motherwell you're playing in the style of Livingston? Because this is a manager who is excited about the Motherwell side that he has put together this season.
Yeah, look, I watched them at the start of the season with yourself. We were at the game, and I came away and I was worried, not just for Motherwell, but Hamilton Accies also. But fair play to him, around about November, December time, he totally changed the way they played, brought in young players, Turnbull, Hasty, added a few others, and the remaining 4 or 5 months of the season, I was really impressed with them. Yeah. I enjoyed watching the way they played. They get the ball down, moved it at pace. And I think with the signings he's made this summer, they could be a surprise package.
Well, yeah, I saw that game we were talking about, and I thought relegation candidates. Yeah. And then, as you say, Barry, 3 or 4 months later, they were going strong, attractive to watch. I went back and watched them. I think it was in a cup game, and they looked very good indeed.
Yeah, and of course the manager, toeing the party line early on, he says, first and foremost, they have one ambition.
We have to stay in the division. That's our primary aim, of course, within our dressing room and within our coaching staff. We've got bigger aims than that, much bigger aims than that. But we have to just temper that slightly. I take each game as it comes. It's an old saying, it bores the life out of all you press people, but we just have to try and win each game that we go onto the field with.
Yeah, he's getting to sound familiar with they have to stay in the league. But suddenly, I mentioned, are they playing the old style Motherwell and Livingston? But he's got 4 wingers at his disposal. He's got a good solid midfield. I mean, the Turnbull saga dragged on through the summer, and unfortunate for the lad. But he's got players now that can score goals as well as that unit at the back, well organised. I think they could be, people are saying, they'll be top 6. I think they could be up in the top 4 the way they're looking. It's early days. It's a shot in the dark.
It's early days, but I like the way he's coming across. Look, privately, when they're in the dressing room, they'll be saying to each other, look, I think we've got the squad to get in that top 6. And as I says, looking at the squad and looking at the signings, added to what's already there, I do think they've got a great chance of doing it. Yeah,
and even the manager's excited by the squad.
Any successful team and squad, you have to rotate. In modern football now, the pace of it, we only go with 20, 21 outfield players, so we don't have a big squad. So you're either in the squad or you're on the bench. There's not many players miss out each week, maybe a couple of the younger squad members. So, people have to just get used to that. If you're going to be at a football club where you're one of 2 people fighting for a position, there's not many clubs in the Premiership or any other level similar to it where you're going to get that kind of guarantee. So we've got a good squad, we've got a good mentality. People know they're well aware they're going to have to fight for positions, and I'll pick whoever's playing well.
Yeah, that's Stephen Robinson at Motherwell. Of course, there's a cracking match to start up at Pittodrie, Aberdeen against Hearts. And I must just mention, although it might have been the wrong choice for me watching Progress Niederkorn against Rangers, it certainly was great entertainment for anyone who bought a ticket at Pittodrie for the game against Chakur, because Aberdeen were rampant, 5-0. They're into the next round. And over and above that, Archie, they've got some good players in the recruitment from Derek McInnes.
In recent years, Aberdeen have been at a kind of revolving door in Europe, in and out, almost in the first round. So that'll be, psychologically, that'll be a big boost for them in doing something where, to be perfectly honest, I think a lot of people thought, they'll just fall flat in their faces again. And if you've got a player who's scoring a hat-trick in a European competition, I've no idea what this opposition was like. but nevertheless, if you score a hat-trick in Europe, you're not a bad player. And given the confidence, as Barry will know, if you've got a striker who's hitting the net regularly and prolifically, then it energizes the whole of the team. So they're looking good at this point, but as you keep repeating, early days.
Yeah, early days. I'm looking forward to seeing Aberdeen, how they perform. Hearts, I might actually just open my fingers and see how they're going to perform. I watched them consistently over the last couple of months of the season, Barry, and boy, it was a hard watch at times. It was easier putting your thumb in a vice grip and just squeezing it.
Yep, I watched them myself on TV, and I mean, there was one ingredient missing, and that's Stephen Naismith. When he wasn't in that Hearts team, they struggled.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying that one guy makes a team, but Stephen Naismith makes a hell of a difference to that Hearts team.
Do you wish you had his agent, by the way? 33-year-old with a 4-year deal.
Decent, you must have a good agent, I tell you. No, listen, one thing about Naisy, he looks after himself. I know he's had a few injuries, but he's a great professional, and to top it off,
He's a wiry player. He's a pest.
Yes.
You know, defenders wouldn't have liked playing against him. Don't like playing against him. He wires in. He can sometimes be a wee bit naughty at times. I've seen him doing that. But then you want a competitive player. Yeah. You want somebody who's resilient, can take knocks and bumps and score the odd goal from time to time. So yes, he's a good player. And Barry's right. It's no one-man team, but it's a very significant player that was missing from them in key moments of the season.
Yeah, absolutely. A pest and a man who gets steamed in and can mix it up. And Archie will know all about that as he tries to get out of the studio tonight, past Barry Ferguson. But nevertheless, we've got to get the predictions. That's what it's all about on this programme. Ross County against Hamilton. I haven't forgotten about you because, briefly, guys, who's going to win that one? Some would suggest they might be battling to avoid relegation. Who wins, Ross County or Hamilton?
well, it's a massive game to start off. Two teams, I think, are going to be down that end of the table.
It's a 4-pointer.
Yep, I'm going to go with a draw in this one.
Archie, draw or win or loss?
You know, Hamilton are astonishing. They really are. I don't know what quality they've got. I don't know whether it's because nobody likes us, so the hell with it.
We'll just defy you.
Exactly. And they find something from somewhere. But that's at the end of the season. That's at the end of the season. In the last couple of months, as you'll know, Barry, you from Hamilton himself, they sometimes produce these results against the... So at the start of this season, this time, with Ross County, first game back, nucleus of the same team, I'm going for a Ross County win.
Yep. Ross County for you?
No, I'm going to draw.
Draw. Okay. Celtic St Johnstone?
Celtic all day.
Oh, by 4, anyway.
Okay. Hibs St Mirren?
Aberdeen.
Aberdeen for me.
Livingston Motherwell?
I'm going Motherwell.
Motherwell, although that pitch, Motherwell with a wee question mark.
Okay, Motherwell, I'll give you a question mark. I wouldn't let Ruffy away with it. Killie against Rangers, Barry?
Rangers have got to go and win.
Yeah. Oh, Rangers,
Yep.
I think, yes.
Aberdeen against Hearts?
Aberdeen.
I think Aberdeen, yes.
Yep.
I think on the back of their good European performance, they'll be buoyant.
Okay, we like to stick to the facts on this programme. Apologies to anyone when Archie said, Barry, you're from Hamilton. I'd hardly think living in a castle looking over Hamilton constitutes you from Hamilton. But nevertheless, great to have Barry and Archie here with us. They will be back with us throughout the season. It is the start of a new Scottish Premiership, and of course, good luck to all the teams in the Championship. League 1 and League 2 will have special guests in here talking about all of Scottish football. We'll be giving you prizes and quoting your opinion throughout the season. Let's hope the fans are better behaved than they were last season. Go out there, enjoy your football, enjoy your team, and get home safely over the weekend. From Barry, Archie and myself, thanks for watching.
Expect the best used car deals guaranteed. Visit arnoldclark.com.